Oh, yeah. I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah, I'm back in the saddle again. That's right. We had to bank a bunch of shows because I was going to be out of town for a couple of weeks. And this is my first show back. By the way, back. I just noticed, I never thought of this before, but Steven Tyler, who's also, I'm half Calabrese. I'm half my family Sicilian and my mom is Calabrese. And we say back the same way. I never noticed that until right now. Right?
Some might say you're the Steven Tyler of fitness.
Yes, yeah. And by the way, you want to talk about someone who is lean and mean. That would be Steven Tyler. Let's see if we can hear, and let's see if we can hear him just say, all right, let's see if we can match the back.
I'm putting in the other headphones, see if I can hear it.
All right, you ready? All right, so I always go, we're going to have you get it back. And then this is Steven Tyler. You ready?
Yeah.
You turn it up a little bit. Pretty close, right?
I can't hear it. So yeah, it sounds exactly the same. Yeah. You did great.
Back.
Yeah, but does he know about NSNG?
He must, because the dude looks like a lady, right? That's what that song is about. People are like,
it's about NSNG.
Yeah, he's so lean, like he was lean like a supermodel from the 70s, right? The guy had no extra weight on him.
Right.
Most of that was a lot of heroin and cocaine.
I was going to say that was the cocaine diet, I believe.
Yeah. Steven Tyler, they called he and Joe Perry. They were called the Toxic Twins for two reasons. Together, they made incredible music.
Yeah,
but they were both Type A personalities. So they were toxic onto each other, and the toxicity of the amount of drugs they were able to consume.
Okay.
You need. They were like Keith. That's the thing that kills me. You have Keith Richards.
Keith doing just grand.
How is Keith Richards alive? He's the roach of all human beings.
Yeah.
You know how they call Tom Brady the GOAT?
Yeah.
Keith Richards is the GOAT, is the roach.
He's the roach.
You can't kill him.
Yeah.
But right behind him is Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. Yeah, those guys just did every drug in the world, and somehow they're still alive. And by the way, when they weren't doing that, they were on, fitness regimens. People ask me about people like that. Not anymore because they're older now, and kids today don't know who they are.
Right.
But back in the day, my Hollywood clients would go, how is Steven Tyler so skinny? The other one they would bring up, speaking of, the Rolling Stones, is Mick Jagger. It's like, how is Mick Jagger so skinny? It's like, well, genetics plays a part of it. But these guys, most of these rock and rollers, and as you know, Anna, I've worked with several of them.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't need me for that motivation, right? They wanted to look a certain way. And they watched everything they ate because, these guys grew up, all of them, the ones I worked with, and Steven Tyler, Mick Jagger, all of them, all these guys, they grew up dirt poor. And they figured out along the way, all I got to do is walk on stage without a shirt on with my voice and sing these songs, and women are going to go nuts. They say, if you could get men to want to be you and women to want to sleep with you, you have a career in rock and roll.
That's right.
That's what these guys know. Look, Guns N' Roses went back on the road after like 20 years. Axl Rose looks like a Karen, right? The guy was just, he was, bloated up, the whole thing and whatever. A lot of these guys back in the day, the guys from the 70s, Steven Tyler, look at the guys from, the ones that dress up like schoolboys and he does the duck walk. I can't think of the group. They're all in shape. They're all running around the stage. They're 100 years old. They're all doing the same thing. they know they have to look a certain way, right?
Right.
And they never get out of that realm. So when people go, how do I get to look like these people? You got to know that they're working. They're not just naturally like that. They're working on it all
Everybody's
the time.
working hard.
They don't have an off day.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Oh, we could play that at the end. Anna,
Yeah.
look, I'll give you other examples. You take someone like The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Take all of these guys.
Yeah.
They became successful because of their bodies, right? They mixed that with the talent, right?
Right.
But guess what? Now you're a millionaire. You got all this money coming in. You got everything. Guess what they still have to do at 4 o'clock every morning?
Work out.
They got to wake up and get to that gym, right?
By the way, that's a great mindset tip. Everybody's got to work out. Like, I always had the thing in my head was like, okay, well, if I just restrict long enough and work out hard enough for this amount of time, then I can take a break. I don't know what, it's like a weird, very subtle. It wasn't like I was actively thinking that, but I had this little voice in the back of my head that's like, okay, great. The payoff will be you won't have to do this as much, which makes no sense.
Well,
it makes no sense.
But Anna,
we have it.
You've heard me say on this show 1,000 times. Whenever I go meet a client, a brand new client, when I was still in LA doing that, and they would say to me, how long is it going to take me to get this weight off? I would say, you know what? You need to find another trainer. I'm out of here. And they go, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're supposed to be the guy. What are you talking about? Why are you leaving? It's like, if you think that we're going to get you to a goal and then you're going to go back to your old ways, you're just going to get out of shape again. You're going to get fat again.
Right.
This is not until I get in shape and then somehow I'll magically try to figure it out.
Then I'll achieve my final form and I won't have to be bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got to be like The Rock. You got to wake up every morning and go pump iron again or do whatever it took you to get to where you got. That's just the way the world works. I was just talking to a woman in a consult. I do people can sign up for a consult, whatever.
As well they should.
And she is a common person. I'll tell you her name. I'll just give you her first name. Let me see here. It was just, we're going to call her Andrea because that was her name. Andrea's 59 years old. Daughter's getting married in Brazil. She'll know exactly who she is when I give you all that information. So she was like, hey, I used to do the whole Vinnie Tortorich thing. I had it down to a science, just like a lot of people. COVID came. She went off a little bit, this and that and the whole thing. She's got only 15 or 20 pounds to lose.
Great.
But she can't, she's got the wedding coming up.
Right.
Right?
So she has that external motivator, but does she have the intrinsic motivator?
And I said to her, listen, tell me what you're eating. Tell me what your exercise regimen is. I got all the information. And then I plugged in, this is what you need to do. And she goes, I knew you were going to tell me all of that. So my question in my mind, I don't say it out loud, is why weren't you doing it? But I know the answer. The answer is, it's not easy. That's why I created the VIP group.
It's simple, but not easy.
Yeah. But that's why we have the VIP group, so that people can check in. Like tonight, we're doing VIP. Tonight's the 17th. I'm doing it 2 days late this month because I was traveling. But VIP.
I just got the notification about August 1st.
For VIP?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the next one's coming up on August 1st.
Great.
But what it is, people are like, well, what do I get? I think it's like $20-25 a month or whatever to be on VIP, right?
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I know.
A steal.
Most people say you could charge $200 a month. That the idea is not for me to get rich on it. The idea is I just want you to put just enough money to where you
a little skin in the game.
A little skin so you can pay attention. That $25.
People don't value free stuff as much.
You can ask me questions twice a month live. We have a live. Sometimes we have 75 people in there. Sometimes we have 150 people in there. You can ask me live questions. We pull questions from the side, and we do the whole thing. But we keep people accountable. That's the tough part, is to stay accountable to anything and everything.
Right.
We're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you guys all about where I was and what I ate on the top of Mount Whitney. You might be surprised. Anna might be shocked to hear what I
Ooh.
might have eaten. Folks, purevitaminclub.com. Purevitaminclub.com. Yeah, everything is in stock all the time now. I did what I should have done a long time ago. I took over my own company. I run the company now, and everything is shipping on time. Now, I'm in the middle of the ad, but I'm going to tell you guys something. You go, wait a minute. Every now and then, I see someone saying their stuff is not showing up. That's on the nut butter, and I've taken care of that. I'm shutting down the nut butter operation until I can figure out what's going on with USPS. Because the last thing I need is for people not getting their product when it's not my fault, and I get the blame. But at purevitaminclub.com, everything ships. It's like Amazon. You order it, next thing you know, it's ba-bada bing, ba-bada boom. It's on your doorstep. Same with the coffee at purecoffeeclub.com. Go check it all out right now, purevitaminclub.com. Go see what's new over there because we're setting up a whole new website and everything. You're going to love what we have going on. purevitaminclub.com. Go check it out. And Anna,
Yeah.
as I've been doing most summers, if I don't have anything else to do, I go climb Mount Whitney.
Yeah.
And this summer was no different. Went up there with my buddy, none other than the billionaire Don Coddington, and our mutual friend Dan Lynch. So the three
Now,
of
do
us.
you guys have to get a permit like several months prior, or how does that work
I don't
for
want to get into the
Whitney?
minutia of the permit,
Okay.
but
I'm
yes,
just
you
curious
need a
how much
permit.
planning you do.
You need a permit to climb.
Okay.
But
Because you
I
make it sound
have,
like, oh, I didn't have anything to do, so I went and climbed Mount Whitney. But it's actually like a lot of planning and training.
yeah. So the training is more than the planning because we put in for the lottery every year. None
Right.
of us have gotten a permit through the lottery for the past 4 or 5 years. So my
Oh,
theory
interesting.
is once you've had a couple of permits, they don't even give you another permit. But what we've learned is you just plan to go, you go there, and you can get permits on the day of the day that you want to climb because enough people turn their permits in and the government will resell them to you that day. It's a whole mishmash of how you get permits. So we didn't have any lack of permits, right? What we did have was each of us we were fighting physical issues. Now,
Mm,
I'm going to be 63, Don's 63 a couple of days after me, and Dan just turned 63. We were all
that's
athletes
really
as,
cute. You
yeah,
little triplets.
we were all athletes as kids. Dan and Don went to school together. They ran track together and the whole thing. But we were all fighting some sort of ailment that would have stopped most people from even wanting to go out there. And I won't get into it because their ailments are not for me to mention on the show.
Right.
And so we got out there and we did it. We all did it. We all made it to the top. I would like to say it was easy, but it wasn't as easy in years past. But we all made it, and we all had a good time. As a matter of fact, the person that had the biggest physical issues was probably Don, and he had the easiest
Because
time.
his issue is he's carrying around so much gold. Is that
That's
what it is?
been the hugest set of balls you've ever seen on a human being.
Little giant golden balls.
Yeah, yeah, and hung like a Shetland pony. At any rate, we are, Don. That guy's got a constitution that just doesn't quit, and so he did the best. And then Dan and I kind of lagged behind him, but we all made it.
You made it.
And yeah, and I was happy and proud for all of us being able to get up there and do it and get back down safely. I almost did not do what I promised you I would do. I promised you that I would take the first cheese bites. What do you call them, Anna?
Bites.
Cheese
Cheese
bites
bites.
to the highest point in the lower 48.
Yeah.
Now, I was going
I
up
mean, you
there.
did technically take them, but the fact that you did what you did.
Well, I took, all right, so here's what happened. I had like 9 bags of the stuff. How many bags
Right.
did you send me, Anna?
I think I sent you 9 bags.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if you were going to share with Dawn. And also,
No.
that's the size box that I had.
Oh, they tasted them and they loved them.
Oh,
So
good.
of course, you sent. I tried 3 bags before I left the house because there was 3 flavors.
Right.
So I had 3 bags before I left the house, and as you know, I love them all. The cheddar ones are my favorite. The yellow ones, that's the cheddar.
Great.
What?
That's the barbecue cheddar. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
barbecue
Love
cheddar.
it.
And so then I brought the other 6 with me. Well, I got a bit of a problem with your product, Anna.
You ate them all on the plane on the way there.
No, they were underneath the plane,
Okay, that's
in the
good.
thing. But once I open a bag, that's it. It's a serving. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, these things are like crack. And you don't feel bad eating them because it's just protein and fat.
Yeah.
It's very,
Yeah.
very low carbohydrate, so it's a great snack. And I know they tell you got to put 2 servings on the bag because you have to create that. But
You have to legally. Yeah.
it's 1 serving. The bag is a serving, and it's
If I'm
delicious.
hungry, it's 1 serving, but if I'm not, I can definitely split it into 2.
Oh, I could just finish
But
a
I
steak
mostly
and
just
then
eat them when I haven't eaten anything, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to finish this bag.
yeah. Anyone who's out there buying like meat chomps and the whole thing, just go get these things. I mean, they are so good. And so I looked around and I was down to 2 bags, and I was like, oh shit, I got to
Oh,
remember.
Vinnie.
And I'm in a hotel
Oh,
room.
no,
No,
Vinnie.
Vinny. I'm in a hotel room, and I'm like, oh man, I got to make sure. So I literally took one of the bags. It was the white cheddar and onion or
Yeah, I think that's the
garlic.
one you ate in the video.
Yeah, I call that the garlic one because it's the one that's the most garlicky to me.
Oh, is it?
I think,
To
yeah.
me, it tastes like sour cream and onion.
Yeah, it does. But
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
I put that one in my climbing bag, never to be seen again until I get up there. And then I got up there and I was a little hoarse and everything. My mouth was dry and the whole thing. That's why the video.
I
So
can't believe you remembered.
yeah, I got it. Well, I was hungry when I got up there too. So
Okay, good.
I reached
So that
into
was
my
easier to
bag and I
remember
was
because you
like,
were hungry.
hey, Don, you need to hang on to this camera. I'm going to do this for Anna right here.
That
But
was so amazing.
that
I
was the same
squealed
day.
when I saw it. I shrieked
Yeah,
aloud.
as you should have.
Yeah.
We tried to get the video up and it screwed up and we had to put it up again and then it didn't go up.
I'm not upset about that.
But it eventually went up.
It went up twice and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. So we finally got it up.
Thank you.
And, but yeah, I think I was the first person because that was the day they were released, right? That was the day I was
It was
climbing.
the day they were released. You were the first person to eat them, and you set the Guinness Book of World Records because I think you're the only person to eat cheese bites at the tallest point in the contiguous U.S.
I'm pretty sure I was.
On camera that day.
Yeah.
You set a record.
It was a one-time record.
Yeah.
And so, folks, you could go get your cheese bites right now, and you could take them to the highest point of whatever state you're in, and then send Anna a picture, and she will send you $1 million.
That's right.
Yeah.
$1 million.
1 million.
Monopoly dollars.
Monopoly dollars.
So yeah, are you going to talk to us about what you ate on your trip? Because I'm on a trip right now. And boy, oh boy, it's tough to find the NSNG clean foods on the road.
I did. Well, I was able to eat clean in, Lone Pine has literally like 2 or 3 restaurants.
Yeah.
And there's one place called Seasons where you could get a steak, but the steaks are like $45-$50. So, just
No.
money-wise, you're not going to go there every night
not
just to
doing
get a steak. There's another place called The Grill. There's another place called The Totem. So breakfast is easy. You go to the Alabama Grill and you get yourself an omelet, with whatever you want, avocado, cheese, what have you. So breakfast is easy. And generally I would stay above, 10,000 feet all day, but you come back down for dinner and you got to eat something. And so the best option is The Grill. Now, I did meet a fan, and after he walked away, I went, that name sounds familiar. I'll say his name here. His last name is Onion, and I think it's Mike Onion. And it's a good thing I wasn't screwing up on my meals.
It's a good thing you weren't putting life into living in Lone
Yeah,
Pine.
because I that night I had what I called the salmon with the cat puke on it. Basically, you get a nice salmon and they put some kind of,
the coating schmutz
white
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with ginger sauce or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that. And the guy sitting at the next table is looking right at me, but I don't know who it is.
Right. He's staring at you.
And then when I'm done eating, he comes over, hey man, big fan. Tell Anna I said hi.
Oh,
What's your name? My name is Mike Onion. I think he said Mike. And I think I've done. I could look back in my book because that name sounds familiar. I think I've done a consult or two with that guy, but I was like, God, I'm glad I wasn't sitting here, you know, going, hey, bring me the apple pie a la mode, which I would never do, but you know, um, yeah,
no, it would be chocolate cake, obviously.
yeah, if they had it. I don't even know what they have there, but at any rate, shout out to Mr. Onion. Um, so that was good. I ate well. Now I tried something on the hill that I haven't done in past years.
Okay.
So about 2 or 3 years ago, shortly after Mont Blanc, which is over 15,000 feet above sea
Right.
level, this is much lower. Mont Blanc is like 16 or something like that. So this is 14.5 is much lower. I started getting for the first time in my life, and I think it has something to do with the fact that my blood was off, and then we figured out I had cancer a year ago.
Right. Right.
And so I was assuming that's why I was getting sick at 13,000 feet. My blood just wasn't
Ah,
strong enough.
yeah.
But I talked to a lot of high altitude people, and they were like, look, you've done 16,000 without taking in any sugar. You've done this, you've done that, but you're getting older, your body's changing a little bit. So you should, put a little sugar in there. So
Mm.
this time I climbed using UltraFat, which won't be available anymore for a
I
while.
love that ultra fat.
I know. Look, I'm going to bring it back, Anna, as soon as
Yeah,
I
I know
could
you
figure,
will.
as
You're just
soon
gonna
as I
sort
could
it out.
figure it out.
Yep.
But I refuse to have my name on the internet. People go, hey, my stuff isn't showing up. And it has nothing to do with me. I've worked so hard to get all three of my companies back to where they need to be. I don't need the bad press. So I said, Chris, we're shutting it down until I can figure out a different way to ship it to people.
Yep.
UPS is too expensive. FedEx is way too expensive. And USPS doesn't seem to be able to get their head out of their
What's
ass.
going on with USPS? Because we have had the best luck with USPS.
With our vitamins, we have no problem.
Interesting.
We think it has something to do with the type of packaging that the machines don't pick up on. And because people say it's showing up and it's busted and this and that and the other thing, we cannot figure it
Mm.
out.
Yeah.
But I refuse to keep getting bad press on
Yeah.
the one thing when we have everything else hitting on all
Totally.
cylinders.
Absolutely.
I don't need to make a dime that badly. I'd rather
Yeah.
shut it down until I can figure it out. So, at any rate, I use my UltraFat, and I use I went out and bought, because sugar is sugar is sugar, right?
Right.
So it's called Shot Blocks, and I'm not doing an advertisement for them, but it's it's like little sugar cubes, and they're like gummy, like little gummy sugar cubes. And what I did was, once I got to 11,000 feet, long before where I used to get sick, in between having some of my own UltraFat, I trickled a little sugar with that. I was able to measure it out.
Oh, I see. Blocks BLOK by Cliff. I see what you're talking
You
about.
see them, Cliff Blocks? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you see what they are. And I had exactly, you want to know how much I took on a 16-hour day? One little pack of those. And I didn't even
Wow.
use it all,
Yeah.
right? So that's what was used for the trip. Um, and it worked like a charm. And Don even said to me, because Don was with me on the two other times when I started getting the vertigo and everything where I never got it before. He goes, dude, you made it. And we were like at 14.2. We were like 300 vertical feet from the top. You can see
Yeah.
the top from where we were. And I said, Don, don't jinx it now. He goes, dude, come on, you're there. I was like, all right. Literally about 100 vertical feet later, all of a sudden vertigo hit me like a ton of bricks.
Ooh.
And yeah, all of a sudden my head was spinning. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And the only thing I ate up there was one little bite of your cheese bites. That was all I could stomach to put in my mouth. I did it for
Oh.
your video. But then after I got better on the way down, when I was able to start drinking water again, back below 13,000, that's when I hammered the rest of that bag.
Okay, good. I'm
That
glad. Oh,
bag, yeah, that bag.
I'm glad you made it, and I'm sorry that's happening. Do you think that vertigo thing is tied into you getting because you get seasick and airsick? It's got to be, right?
I never had
All
it
tied in
before.
together.
I've talked to a few experts, a few doctors. They go, when you get older, you change. You were golden up to 16,000 feet before, zero, no HAPE, no HASH. Do you know what that means, HAPE and HASH?
No. Mm-mm.
All right. High altitude pulmonary edema. That's HAPE,
Okay.
HAPE. And HASE is high altitude cerebral edema. That's when you
Okay.
get the
I don't
headache,
want
and
either
that's
of
when
those.
people
Yeah.
get brain bleeds, a little
Oh
bloody
God.
nose and the whole thing. And the only way to fix those is to come down. I don't get HAPE or HASE at
Okay.
all. But I'm getting vertigo now.
Right.
And there's a few spots, people that know the mountain, where you're walking along an edge.
Right.
And the last thing you need to be when you're walking along an edge is, you
Dizzy and
know,
falling off the edge.
dizzy, yeah, and falling off
Yeah,
into
we need you to
1,000,
be
2,000 foot
keep
abyss.
your balance. Yeah.
Right. So whenever I would get close to one of those and I felt too dizzy on the way down, I would sit down for a minute until it subsided, and then I would go again, which is kind of a pain in the ass. So,
Yeah.
my climbing days might be numbered at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but here's the
But
thing, Anna.
is it something that like balance training can help with, or is it just like you're just going to have that above a certain
No,
feat?
look, Anna, as you know, I got that board in my room. Do you
Yeah.
know the board I have? It's got like the rock in the middle and
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I
teeter
love
back and
that thing.
forth.
Mm-hmm.
I get on that thing while I'm watching television.
Right.
Like I'm standing there. People say, how are you staying balanced? It's like, I'm just standing here all day. I can just go back and forth, play with it.
Yeah.
I just started rollerblading again.
You did?
Yeah.
Vinny, I roller skated last week.
Really?
I hadn't roller skated in years. It's
You went
super
to a
fun.
rink?
Yeah. I want to
Where?
rollerblade again in
Well,
Catalina. They were doing it in the ballroom.
I was talking to this girl over at my gym, Latasha. I won't say her last name because I guess I can say Latasha. I was telling Latasha I got back on rollerblades, and she was like, there's an indoor place where we all go with like the four corner skates,
Ooh.
and we dance and the whole thing. And I was like, I don't know if I can dance. Dan Lynch, the guy I was climbing with,
Yeah.
he does that. He does the regular skates with the dancing, and
That's fun.
but I've been hammering on my rollerblades for a couple of weeks. This is my buttocks from a few days ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
you took a spill.
Oh yeah. I've been rollerblading.
That's like a strawberry.
Oh, that's a raspberry, baby.
That's a
That's
raspberry.
what you call a road rash. And
Road rash.
here's the thing, Anna.
Damn, you need to wear leather chaps when you're out
I
there rollerblading.
Well, I have on the knee pads, the elbow pads, and the hand pads.
Yeah, well,
The
that's
wrist
good.
thing.
I was actually thinking we should make everybody wear those on the roller rink who's over 40 because I was like, y'all be falling.
Well, here's the thing,
I'm
Anna.
worried.
Where I live, there's not a lot of flat, but I found
Right.
like a little over a half a mile circle right around UVA where it's flat enough.
Yeah.
And I got the 3-wheel rollerblades, which means the wheels are much bigger. They'll roll over cracks and rocks and everything else.
That's good. Yeah.
But the other side of that is you're higher up and they're faster. Like the people who speed skate, I bought the ones these idiots use. Like it doesn't even come with a brake. I had to add a brake to it.
Oh my God.
So,
That's
but
scary.
I get on those things. I haven't been on them in 29 years. I used to
Yeah.
be an avid skater.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd go down the beach all the way to Redondo and back. It was 20 miles in one direction. I'd do 40 miles on the rollerblades,
Oh
right?
my God.
So I go out there the first day. I go, all right, Vin, it's been 29 years. It's been since 1996. You got to take it easy. So I get out there, I play around in the parking lot for a minute, I get my composure, and then I skate it for 10 miles. And the only reason I know it's 10 miles is because my watch, it's got the GPS. So I looked at my Garmin watch and, I just went 10 miles. I'm going to shut it down right here. So then I go out the next time and I'm skating for a while. I look down, I'm at 11 miles. And I went, you know what? I'm going to hit 12 and I'm going to stop. That's 20% more than the last time. this is not hard for me. I lost my balance a few times, but I didn't fall, right? It's like, let me stop while I'm ahead. And that's all I did. And then I went off and climbed with, Cotty Cod and Van. And I came back and I'm back by 2 days. And, I want to get moving again. You don't want to just go, okay, I've done all the climbing. I did all the working out. You want to keep going, right? I got on the rollerblades again and I was getting a little too good for my britches.
Okay.
It's like, let me speed this up a bit.
Uh-oh.
And I came around the turn and I
It's always a
realized
turn.
I was coming in a little too hot. And there was something you have to miss and go around. And I was like, oh, I'm coming in hot. I'm going to hit that. And I lost my balance. It was like I slid into second base. My hip is all just hamburger meat.
And
Yeah.
that's the worst fall, when you fall where your feet go out from under you. If you could fall forward and you catch yourself with the pads, it's not as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It caught me really quick. And I went down because those skates are fast and I wasn't used to them.
Can I tell a quick little story about Catalina and my friend Michelle, who
Sure.
she'll never listen to this podcast. She doesn't give a shit. Michelle is a wonderfully intelligent woman. She's a lawyer. She owns a multi-million-dollar business where they basically do accounting for public companies. She and her husband. They're amazing. I love these people. Wonderful people. But Michelle is, she's 58. She's winding it down. I don't know what their exit plan is, but she's not wanting to work that much anymore. So she came with us to Catalina to go visit our friends who have a house there. And Michelle was the one who, of course, when we were all roller skating, Lauren didn't cotton to it at all. Lauren was like, I'm not doing this. His balance wasn't working right. And so he's like, I'm not doing it. So he sat with Michelle and they decided not to do it. Well, then Michelle says, I know I'm going to go once around. She does the falling. And at roller rinks, if she fell, she bruised her wrist. She luckily fell forward, did the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's all swollen. It looked like it could have been broken, but definitely sprained, right? And then we all go out on the boat the next day, and the boys decide we're going to anchor at the place at the harbor, twin harbors or white shores. I don't know where we were. They anchor. The girls decide we're not going to swim. The boys swim off. They go. They go up
Mm-hmm.
to shore. They leave and they go on a hike. And we're like, oh, we have to pee now. So either we have to jump in the ocean and pee, or we have to hold it till they come back. But Michelle decides I'm going to go pee in the ocean. So she goes and pees in the ocean, but she's got this jacked up arm now. So I'm basically holding her. And she's, by the way, late 50s, a tiny little bit of a thing. She's very
Mm-hmm.
small.
Yeah.
And I'm holding her up and she's peeing in the ocean because she can't use her other arm.
Oh.
And so I'm holding another grown woman as she pees, and then I yank her out, and then she kind of just lays on the back of the boat. And I was like, girl, you need to get over there. You can't just lay on this boat. And I start rolling her like a beached whale. Okay. And she's just like, she's over it. She doesn't want to do all this physical activity. I was like, well, you're the one that has to pee, and we're making it happen for you with your broken arm.
Right.
And then the next day we walk, our friend takes us to the back of the island, fascinating. We see all the bison, they filmed that movie and they left the bison there and they run roughshod over the back of the island, went to the airport, saw the Rusak and the Wrigley's stuff. And we went to a couple of private beaches that you can really only hike down to. And there were bunkers from World War II there after Pearl Harbor. It was really interesting. And to be able to see this aspect of Catalina that you would never see just going on a day trip. It's because we knew somebody he's 50 and he spent his childhood's summers there. So it was really a treat to get to do it. But when you hike down to these California beaches, it's not like East Coast beaches where it's flat. You got to like do the rocks and shimmy down. You're doing a scramble.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's gorgeous, but you have to be careful. You don't want to slip. So we're all scrambling down and getting there. But Michelle has to hold on to her husband. And then finally Lauren's like, Michelle, you have soft bones. Like, what is going on? You have rickets. Like, she was, everything exhausted her. And she goes, because she's coming with us to France in September.
Right.
And she's like, I think I need to get on the treadmill. And I was like, yeah, I think you do. And we're all saying that she's very knowing. She's like, you can joke and stuff, but like, it's not like we're criticizing, but we're like, we're not getting any younger. We have to start getting out ahead of this stuff, Michelle. Like, we have to I can't be holding you in the water so that you can pee because of the injury you fell going roller skating for 2 seconds. Sorry, did I lose you?
No, you're here, but you're starting to get a little weird.
I think I'm on hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, she wound up because we're renting electric bikes in France. Okay. And the
Yeah.
electric bike, it makes you think you're doing something because you're moving your legs, but you're not actually
Right.
you're not doing the effort, especially if there's a hill or something. There's one day we're doing like a day of electric bikes in France. And she's like, "I think that's too much exercise for me." And I was like, "I promise you it's not. I promise you it's not. You can do it. I believe in you."
Wait,
And
Anna.
so instead
Anna, hang
she
on.
yeah,
Anna, let me
yeah.
do a quick Villa Capelli ad so that hopefully your
Okay, great. Do
internet
it.
will catch up
Okay, I'm
because
sorry
it's
that
falling
it's
way
yeah.
behind.
Okay, go, go, go. Yep.
All right. So see if you can do something to fix it. All right, folks. Villa Capelli olive oil is the best olive oil on the planet. Now, I'm telling you that for two reasons. Number one, because they're paying me to say it, right? But here's the deal. We were saying this long before they ever paid us a dime. Anna and I used to brag about this olive oil so much that we used to sell them out in the United States. It's a small company, and we would sell them out. Paul Capelli he was based in Puglia. He's since passed away since between the beginning of this podcast and now. But his husband, Stephen Crutchfield, kept the company going, and they are still our title sponsor on this show, Villa Capelli. I was on the Adam Carolla show last week when I was back in LA, and he goes, "What's the one supplement?" And I said, "Olive oil." Everyone should be on olive oil all the time. And Adam brought something up that was very interesting. He goes, "You know what? No matter which expert I get on the show, it could be someone, espousing meat like yourself, or veganism, or vegetarianism, or somewhere in between." He goes, "The one thing all of you guys agree on is olive oil." And I said, "Yeah, because it's the supplement everyone should be taking." And by the way, folks, you don't have to do what I do. I pour it in a little ounce shot glass. I throw a couple of sprinkles of salt in there, and I guzzle it down. It tastes like a caprese salad. You can actually put it on a caprese salad, or put it on any kind of salad, or put it on, you got broccoli, you got whatever. Just pour it on there. Villa Capelli, the best olive oil on the planet. The reason we tell you to get Villa Capelli is because we can tell you that it's 100% pure olive oil, and it's delicious. You can taste the polyphenols because it gives you that little pinch on the back of your throat. So when you drink that real olive oil, you get that kind of like you sucked in pepper too hard. It's that peppery kind of taste on the back of your throat. Villa Capelli, we use it here. Anna uses it where she is. And so you guys might want to check it out. Put in promo code Vinnie, Vinnie. You get 10% off each and every time. So put the promo code in every time. Villa Capelli, we
Is
love
it
it
better
here.
now?
You're going to love it where you are. All right, let's try it, Anna. So, Anna, you were
Okay, I
talking.
just want to say, long story short,
Mhm.
Michelle doesn't even want to do an electric bike, so she's getting a little sidecar for her husband's electric bike. I was like,
They
this,
make that?
yes, for kids, but she's small, so she's basically
Yeah.
like the body of a 10-year-old. She like fit in the sidecar. But I'm saying, to me, I was like, I don't want to age that way. Like, I get wanting to be comfortable, and I get like, hey, listen, I'm older now. I don't want to be bothered with certain things. But I also know that we only stay strong and vibrant if we're challenging ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
that's the whole concept behind lifting weights, is that you have to challenge your muscles so that you can grow new muscle. So for me, I clocked it, and I love her to pieces. I love her. And this is not everybody's choice, but for me, it made me have the realization of like, I don't want to make that choice to grow old that way, because I know how, like, for instance, how frail my mom was for the last 20 years of her life because she didn't do those things. So I'm using it as a thing.
And
No
you're
judgment,
absolutely.
just I don't want that life.
No, look, you're correct. It's a use it or lose it proposition because, I used to say all the time that I've taken people in wheelchairs. When I say exercise is a poor way to lose weight, and I'll use the wheelchair examples where I'll say, look, I've taken people in wheelchairs and gotten them to lose over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And so one of the things people will ask is like, well, why should I exercise if I can lose all the weight? If you say exercise is a poor way to lose weight, why should I exercise? It's like, well, because exercise is actually and literally the fountain of youth, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will exercise will retard all of the effects of aging, right?
And
we're going to still age,
right.
but it will literally cut it down. I mean, we start hitting sarcopenia, which is a fancy word for we start losing about a pound of muscle per year, starting at our 35th birthday. So by the
That's
time you hit, if you
crazy.
do the math, by the time you hit 80, you can lose half of your body weight in muscle or half of your muscle weight, right? That's a lot. That's when you start looking frail, like Anna's mom, my mom, who's never been a great exerciser. She likes to do her walks and her gardening and whatever, but it's hot there in the summer. They don't get out much,
Yeah, she's not going
right?
to do that in the summer. No.
So they don't exercise a whole lot, and you see them getting smaller and more frail. And you can beat sarcopenia. Well, look, you're not going to beat the Grim Reaper. He's
No,
coming.
he's coming.
He's coming. But the bottom line is, you can retard the effects of all of it by just exercising or just walking. I mean, people will say, well, what's the best exercise? I always say it's the one you're willing to do.
Right.
And if you're not willing to do anything else, go out for a walk because that's a weight bearing exercise. Your body is bearing the weight of your skeletal frame when you're walking, right? Rucking is one step better. Jogging is one step better, but you don't have to do any of that. You could just go out and walk, right? You're pounding your body just enough to cause the bones to grow, to keep the soft tissue strong, so that when you take the stuff I tell you to take, like the gelatin, the Knox gelatin, or if you want to take the collagen peptides or whatever, now it has a place to go and an area to strengthen, right? That's how that works. You drink the bone broth. If you're not exercising and you're not causing those bones to want to grow, the bone broth won't do as much for you,
Right.
right? It all works synergistically, folks. You got to diet, you got to watch what you eat, and you have to exercise. And when I
You got
say
to do all the
diet, I
things.
don't mean starving yourself. People
No,
equate
no, no, no.
diet with you got to eat the right foods. That's what I mean by dieting. Eat the right foods.
Penny, and by the way, to circle back on what we were talking about earlier, the sign of maturity with me was realizing that there isn't an end destination, that this is what feels good, is to do this on a regular basis. It's
Right.
not like I'm going to reach that final form. I know that now. And that's a sign of maturity, and I'm proud of myself for getting there. I want to say traveling has been really interesting. You know that they took away the pre-check because I accidentally brought a little knife that I used to open boxes of pasta sauce with.
Yeah.
And I left it in my purse. So they took away the pre-check back in November when I was going on that Chicago book signing trip. And they will not reinstate it for a year. So come November, I'll be fine. But so I told Lauren, because Lauren said he wanted to bring salt dust for everybody in his family. We're seeing Lucy, we're seeing his parents, and we're going to Justin's house. So he wants to bring salt dust to everybody. I said, that's fine. But then I made a joke. I said, I'm not putting it in my bag. We didn't check bags this time. I said, you put it in your bag in case there's any problems. And he's like, what problems would there be?
Oh, there can be problems.
It's seasoning. And I was like, I don't know, but you take it. Well, guess what, Vin?
Problem?
Guess who got screened for bomb powder?
Wait, so your salt dust got screened for as being
Yeah, well, Lauren did. I didn't. And by the way, he's doing clear. He's doing pre-check. He was supposed to get through secure. I did a timer. It took me 35 minutes to get through security. He was supposed to be through in 3 to 7 minutes. He only got through 2 minutes before I did because they had to pull him aside, do a whole pat down, run all the salt dust. He had to explain what it is. It's just spice seasoning. I'm not trying to blow anything up. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. I thought, I was like, oh, you mean like they just ran the thing on the outside and they just like test it to see if it's, he's like, no, I had to open it. I was like, you had to open the product? He's like, yeah. It's like, cool. Good job, TSA.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Can I talk about my TSA on the way out and on the way back?
Oh God, did they? Because they always have your number.
You know, you've heard the story.
I know you have. I know you have they got you in the system.
And by the way, I'm on TSA pre-check in all of it.
Yeah.
Right. I got everything you can have. I have global entry. I got everything.
Yeah.
I got all of it. On my way out, I'm leaving out of Charlottesville, which is the easiest airport in the world to leave out of.
Yeah.
And my bag, because I like to pack everything, my bag came to 51 pounds. And the woman goes, 51 pounds, you're going to have to pay $100 for that extra pound. So I said, listen, why don't you look over in that direction? Let me put my foot under this bag a little bit. I was trying to be cute and funny, right? Sir, we don't mess around with this. Would you like to remove something from your bag, carry it on the plane with you? I went, all right. So I open it up, and the first thing I see is the UltraFat. I got a 10 pack of UltraFat, and I
Oh
went,
my God.
okay. I said 10 times 1.25 ounces. That's close to a pound. That's about 13 ounces. So maybe that'll cut it. I took one of my 10 packs of UltraFat out, and she measures it again. It comes in right at 50 pounds.
Oh, good job. Way to game the system.
But hang on. Now I go over to TSA pre-check. And it's in my little leather satchel, and that goes through. And, I made it through okay. And the guy goes, sir, is this your bag? I went, yes, it is. And now the first thing I'm thinking is, I'm the pocket knife king.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're like, I definitely left a knife in there.
It's like, I'm about to lose one of my pocket knives, right?
And your pre-check.
Will they take pre-check away for that?
Yes, that's what I got mine taken for.
Okay, that's right. And so, all right. So the guy pulls out the bag of, the 10 pack. And he goes, you got more than 3 ounces of liquid here. I said, sir, it's not liquid. It's nut
It's
butter.
almond butter and
He
coconut.
goes, he squeezed it. He goes, it feels like liquid to me. And you can't have more than 3 ounces. And I said, well, it's 1.25 ounces and there's 10 of them in there. He goes, yeah, but they're all packaged up together. I said, you can see clear through the clear plastic.
Right. How
It's
it's packaged.
individually packed.
Right. Yeah.
He goes, yeah, but you got them all packed together here. And I said, okay.
Oh my God. I get so frustrated.
It's like, can you think for yourself? I said, I tell you what.
Did you offer to eat one in front of him or like?
No, I said, hand it to me. I will open the package and then we will have 10 individually packed 1.25 ounce things.
Great. There you go.
And he goes, I don't know if we could do that. And I said, why? He goes, because it already presented as being one package. And
this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I was about to lose my shit. And I said, you're going to have to show me the ruling on that. He goes, hang on, let me ask my superior. So he goes to the guy, and he's with the guy, and he shows him the package. The other guy squeezes it. He's pointing at me and the whole thing. And he comes back and he goes, okay, we're going to let it go this time.
Oh, thank you.
And
You're
I'm like,
so wise and generous.
Why can't you just admit you're a fucking idiot? And let's just
they
move
can't.
along.
Have you seen the ads for TSA that have been airing lately?
No.
They're like they're all these good-looking people talking, and they're smiling, and they're like, working at TSA is a great opportunity. It's running we're watching The Bear on Hulu. So you know how Hulu shows the same commercials over and over. They're showing this TSA commercial. I'm like, that is the biggest load of malarkey. That is not anybody I've ever seen at TSA.
So Anna, on her way back,
LAX.
As you know, LAX, the worst TSA on the planet.
Yeah. LAX is where Lauren was screened for his salt dust bomb powder.
So I took all my dirty laundry and stuffed it in my pack that I carried up Whitney to put it on my back. I had eaten all of the UltraFat, so that was gone. So obviously I'm lighter than when I left. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm going through TSA. I'm in pre-check, and even in pre-check, I went, you know what? My shoes off. I don't care. I got my belt off because I wear these big kind of westerny belts.
Yeah, that'll definitely trigger the.
I got everything off, feeling around. Yeah. Okay, I got everything off. They're sending people one after the other. Metal detector, metal detector, metal. I go through the metal detector. It lights up. Woman goes, sir, you got anything in your pocket? You got a belt on? No, sure. No belt, no nothing. She goes, go back through. As I walk back through, it beeps again. She goes, sir, there's something on you. I said, depending on how you guys have these machines set, I have an artificial shoulder, so you must have it set on strong. And she goes, you should have told me that. You need to go through the other thing. The other thing is not even open. So we have to wait for a guy to come over for the x-ray machine. I go through the x-ray machine. Guy goes, sir, step out. And he points to the little picture. He goes, you have something in your pants. And he's pointing to my midsection. And I went, he goes, anything you want to tell us is in your pants? I said, besides my cock and balls?
No, you didn't say that. Did you?
Yeah. And I said, he goes, all right, we got to give you the major check. He goes, would you like it to be done behind the screen or out here? I said, you do it right here. Whatever, what are you going to do? Something special behind the screen? You do it right here. So then, and your husband got this same thing, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
They got to do the whole thing. I'm going to use the back of my hand. I'm going to go down your front. I'm going to go around your side.
I'm not going to tickle your balls.
I'm going to do all this stuff, and I'm going to do it with the back of my hand. I went, can you? Yeah, I got it. Back of the hand. He goes, you stop me in the middle of my thing. I must start over and tell you all again. So he started from the beginning again. And I went, oh, I thought the guy.
Start from the very beginning.
I thought the guy in Charlottesville was challenged mentally. This guy takes the cake. Back of the hand.
Because you spoke. Because you spoke.
Because I spoke. So he's doing this, and everybody is watching me get the special treatment, like the super special treatment. So people stop, and a couple of phones come out. Because
stop it.
They think they're getting ready to watch a guy get arrested. So I'm looking around, already feeling like a criminal. And I see people, they're trying to hold the phone in like a discreet place, like they're holding it low, but they got the phone out.
Yeah.
And I went, okay. I made a decree right there, and I said, I am never flying domestic again, except for emergencies. If I find out,
right,
my mother's in the hospital, I got to get home, or something, I'm never, right. If I want to go to the West Coast, I'm driving.
You're driving.
It's not worth it for me to go through this.
So what were they looking for that they were so convinced was in your pants? Because Guam ain't there no more.
Guam ain't there. I guess I'm just hung. I don't know.
Yeah.
I must be.
Brass.
But they thought they saw too much in the front, and they decided that. I mean, people talk about being discriminated against and this and that and the whole thing. What's worse than that? I have pre-check, and you're treating me like a freaking farm animal. It's just
they don't care.
They don't care. And I'm sitting there going, I've been humiliated. Now, we're going to England for Christmas. We're going here. We're going there. I will go internationally because I don't have a choice, because I'm not getting on the QE2.
I think you just have to surrender to the process is what I've learned. And I thought if I had clear and pre-check and the whole thing that I could just zoom through and just be a zoomer. And now I can't. I have to go to the very back, and it's fine. And I just surrender to the process, get there super early, and whatever dumb bullshit they say to me, I go, okay, yeah, sure. Take it. Take the bag. They've stopped me for this mic because this mic is literally called a shotgun mic because it's shaped like a shotgun. Mm-hmm. I get stopped for that a lot. I get stopped for God knows what. And then also that pocket knife that got taken at Santa Barbara Airport that I left inadvertently. I had a thought. I was remembering all the places that I had accidentally left it in my purse. And I was like, it's gone through quite a number of airports.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. It's a
crapshoot. You don't know what, and I don't even think about it. And the times that I have thought about it, I go, oh God, and I move it into my suitcase, and then I check the bag and it's fine.
Yeah.
But now I just don't have a knife. And in fact, I got stopped recently because I travel all the time. I'm always trying to go out and do stuff. And it's not pleasant. And the food situation is difficult. And they didn't I managed to get some eggs and bacon in LAX, which is good because there was no, first of all, the lady, I was like, oh, I'll have the fruit and cheese plate. She goes, we don't have that. And I was like, oh, they emailed the menu. So what is it that you do have? And she's like, we have a sandwich and a snack box. And she was in a big rush. I don't know why. We were on a 6-hour flight. I don't know where she
Right.
needed to be, but so I panic bought the snack box. Well, the only thing I could have was like a gooey cheese thing and a meat stick, and then I gave the rest to Lauren.
Was
so
that
that's all I
Delta?
had.
Were you on Delta?
It was
Anna?
Delta. Yeah, it was Delta. And that's all I had on the flight, and that was fine. And then last night we didn't get to our final desk. So we got up at 4. I had the eggs, had the little meat stick and a little cheese thing. I didn't have any snacks. And it wasn't until 9 p.m. that we sat down at Longhorn Steaks, which thank God we're in a tiny town in Massachusetts right now. A movie that my husband wrote 20 years ago is finally being made. So we're coming.
Oh, wow.
He's pitching jokes on set right now. And I'm going to go do, grocery store stuff. And then we're going to go see his family. But at Longhorn Steaks, I was able to get a ribeye, and that's great. But the salad was the thing. We're like, oh, it's just a green salad. I said, no croutons. She's like, no problem. So she brought us both our salads, and we got the Italian dressing, or the white, they called it the white balsamic dressing. It was a sugar bomb, and I'm sure made with canola oil. But Lauren spilled some on his pants. He was like, oh no, my pants just got diabetes. I was like, good God. But listen, the steak was great. And I was very glad that we could find a Longhorn steak, because the other choice was Applebee's. And I said to Lauren with enthusiasm, I said, let's go to Applebee's. I've never been to Applebee's. And he said, and I have never heard him be this adamant, you are not going to like that.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to go to Applebee's.
I wouldn't even know what that tastes like. Applebee's.
I've never been to one. So I was like, well, let me try an Applebee's. I'll find some. I'll get a piece of chicken or something. And he said, in no uncertain terms, I was not allowed to go to Applebee's, because he knew what would happen, which is I would be crestfallen and disgusted. So Longhorn actually was, for traveling, not a super bad option. But then today I got up and I found a Starbucks. So I was able to get cold brew with some cream in it.
Right.
And then, Lauren's gone. So within walking distance is a hot dog place. So I got 2 hot dogs and with some toppings, and they were insisted I take the fries. I was like, I don't need the fries. And they're like, well, it comes with it. And I was like, I'm not going to eat the fries. And they, of course, set down the fries, and I didn't eat the fries. But it's very interesting trying to eat and travel. And by the way, I know you have to go, but did you know that they're coming out with creatine cereal?
No, but I would love to learn more about this on the next show. Can we bring this up first thing next Monday?
I would be happy to.
Because I have another show I'm going right into, and then we have VIP right after that. So I'm on a
creatine cereal, kids.
Yeah, I want to see how much creatine is actually in that cereal, folks.
Oh, it doesn't say. I had to sign up on the waiting list. I signed up. I gave them my email address.
You really did?
I did.
I can't wait.
I want to know. Not because I'm going to buy it, but because I know we're going to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, no, we will talk about it. Folks, go to Eat Happy Kitchen right now to get the cheese bites. I keep wanting to call them cheese bits, but they're cheese bites.
Cheese bites, because
you bite them. Eat Happy Kitchen cheese bites. I can't get enough. If you want to know my favorite flavor, it's the cheddar with the barbecue.
Barbecue cheddar.
And but they're all absolutely delicious. Go get. Do you still have the 9-pack available?
The 9-pack is still available at the deep dive pricing. I don't know if it will be at the time of this airing, because we will be raising that price,
right?
And then offering subscriptions on the 3-packs and 12-packs. So if it's still available, grab it.
Check it out, eathappykitchen.com. That's where you'll find all of Anna's stuff. She's got free recipes there and everything else.
We're up to, this is going to air on Monday, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
We're back to regular schedule.
Because Debbie called me in a cold sweat going, we need shows.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we got you, Debbie. Anna, don't forget, don't hang up. I got to wait until this cures.
Yeah.
Right after.
Yeah,
so, folks, you know what to do. Rate and review this podcast. I'm not kidding. Rate and review. Before you go to Amazon, go to VinnieTortorich.com. Click through the banner. It puts coal on the fire. Gets my train down the track. We're able to keep the show free because of that. So on behalf of Anna Vocino, whose family is from Puglia, we're going to listen to a little bit more of this WAP, whose family is from Calabria, just like my family. So on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with Stephen Tallarico.